Hey guys, I know this is in Super Cool Nerd Nation. Ricardo's got that on lock, but this is a Jason the X interview, and of course it has to come with a little bit of some fine stuff that we have. Congratulations on things that are going on in your life.
Thank you.
And I say that because this man here is my buddy TekForce.
What's up, brother?
Now you've interviewed with us before. You when we had the studio kind of partway laid out,
Yeah,
and
it was a different setup.
it was a different setup.
But I like it.
It wasn't as professional. No. We got the microphones now
Yeah.
anyway. But you, my man, have been doing some leaps and some strides since the last time we talked. Of course, new album getting ready to drop.
Yes, Child of the 80s.
And the single off that is one of my favorite songs right now because it pretty much expresses real life.
Yeah, man.
But so in case you are unfamiliar, you are a nerdcore rap artist, I guess is the best we could describe it, but you are just a man that makes some really good music.
I'm just a hip-hop artist, man. I'm just a hip-hop artist influenced by nerdy culture.
And I got to tell you, it's some good stuff out there.
Thank you,
I've always said I'm a fan of yours, but I'm also your friend. So
yeah, man.
But in that time, all these leaps and bounds you've made, and we've seen the creation of Light Cycle Entertainment.
Yes.
You're now having to do a lot more managing of your career and everything.
Yeah.
I'd say even the quality of your work, not so far as like the music itself, but how it's presented has gone up. So it's been almost like 2 years since we talked last time.
It's been quite a long time, and you've made the leaps and bounds yourself.
This ain't about me. This is about you.
I know. I have a tendency to do that, but yes.
Tell me about how the last 2 years have been as growth as an artist.
So going back to Child of the 80s, I think, God, years ago, I mean, I've just been kind of a student of the retro. Obviously, my whole career has been based off of retro gaming and the 80s and TV
And we've talked about that. You rep for what you know.
Yeah, I rep what I know. You never hear me talk about guns and drugs and none of that business. I grew up in the suburbs. And it was a 7-Eleven up the street that I could ride to on my BMX bike with my homeboys, my Huffy my Sigma. Some of y'all remember the Sigma. I had a Huffy Sigma with pegs, and we'd go down there and we'd play, the Play Choice 10 Nintendo machine.
Oh yeah.
That lets you play for like a minute, and you could play Karate Champ and all that. That's what I come from. So the whole synthwave thing, I think I wanted to do an album like this specifically after I saw Drive, believe it or not. So Drive, when I heard the soundtrack and I heard Night Call by, I think it's Kavinsky, the song you hear at the end of the movie, I was like, it brought me to know a genre called synthwave.
Right.
I didn't know really what that was. And this is circa, whatever the movie came out, I think it was like 2013, 14, something like that. So I went down this pathway of checking out different people, like Com Truise, and folks like that, and it just kind of, and the Midnight. And I kept listening, and I said, you know what? I love this so much. I want to see if I can do a version of this. Kanye's 808s and Heartbreaks was like an album I kept playing. It was critically, like, people were like, whatever, but I saw a position for myself. So I started making music around that. Have you ever heard 11?
I have heard
11 is very synthy, and it's based in that form. So I said, well, why don't I try to make a full album like that? So I recorded tracks, because in the 2 years since we've talked, there's been heartbreaks, there's been problems in my life, there's been stuff to talk about.
Such is life.
Such is life. And before I knew it, I recorded several songs and didn't know what they were for. But they were very 80s, and it kind of taught me how to corner in on using synthesizer sounds and how to actually make a song. So I produced. The matter of fact, Child of the 80s is probably, it's 80% produced by me.
Wow.
Yeah. So I got help on Move is completely, Michael Pena produced it. Shout out to Michael Pena.
Yes.
Wonderful artist in Austin, part of a group called Hammer Zaya, and he came to me with an idea. We'd been friends for a while, and
I love hearing him on that track, by the way. Very talented guy.
Yeah, well, that's T-Rex.
Sorry, T-Rex is on the track.
Right, T-Rex is on the track. Right. Shout out to Louis Gray, who is my mentor, brother, friend, sometimes manager. Michael Pena comes to me and he says, hey, I got this track, man. I've had it for 10 years. And it's perfect for you and Rex. So he sends it to me, and I listen. I said, wait a minute. It's got that feel,
yes,
that bounce, that 80s Beat Street breaking vibe to it. So I start writing to it. And then It's so cool. So eventually I have a song. I sent it to Lewis, and he says, man, we have something here. So one weekend back in July, we drove to Austin, spent one night recording that song. We got there at 6, started recording at 7, to leave till 4 in the morning. Like, we turned around and left and went back after we recorded it.
Not bad.
Just
That's not
it's
too
a
bad of a
session.
drive, but
It's a session.
Yeah.
Right, but that we were so committed to the song. So after that, we put the single out. People loved it. And it just led to me getting it together. But the Child of the 80s album, man, is in a culmination of my love of the 80s. I got a song we just talked about Show Enough.
Yeah.
I'm doing a song about Aerobicide. I saw you had the video cassette over there.
Oh yeah, that of course, local artists, friends of ours,
Show Enough. So I'm doing a song about that. Also doing a song with our friend Christina Rivas from the
Fangirls of
Dallas, called Infinity and Beyond.
I didn't know that she had any. I was unaware of her musical chops. I mean, I know of Christina, but
yeah. After you hear her on the track, let me tell you, I'll let you hear some of it after. I'm sorry, he gets a preview. Y'all gotta wait for April 18th, which is the Child of the 80s. I guess release and party that'll be at the National Video Game Museum.
Good venue, by the way.
Yeah.
You're really getting the retro in, especially with the National Video Game Museum. You guys, in case you haven't gone over there, go check it out. So we're actually getting a release party. Tell me more about. Is it just going to be you performing? Anybody else coming by? Or
so on the album, there's several artists that will be featured. James Waiters, who is a R&B singer.
Okay.
That's in Dallas. He's really, really great. He'll be on one of the tracks. I think he'll be on They Watchin', which is one of the tracks. Now, another one, Red January, who is part of the group, kind of a team that I work with that's headed by Louis Gray. We're independent artists, we work together. She'll be featured on this track called Just Stop. It's kind of like a Fat Boys bounce with it. Also with another guy from Indiana, Ambush Vin, who I've worked with before. He'll be on the track. So they'll be represented there along with Christina, trying to get Halo on it. Depends on her availability. Tracks, it'll be about 10 to 11. I'm thinking about what I'm going to do is actually put out just the standard version and then release a deluxe with songs you never heard of.
All right. So album. What's the date again for the album release?
Album release. So my
when are we
idea.
Now, not everybody's going to be able to make it all the way to Frisco.
Yeah.
To get it, especially if they're not even in the state.
Right.
When are we able to buy this album on Bandcamp? Because I'm getting it.
Yeah, so it's going to be a day and date release.
Ooh.
So April 18th, if you can't go to the National Video Game Museum, you can actually get it on Bandcamp. It'll be ready for streaming and all that. So next month is going to be a time of recording. So the party, the way it's going to be set up, you obviously come there. If you've been to the National Video Game Museum, it's a great spot, great venue, plenty of retro games. But I also have my homeboy, Joel Christensen, who heads up Dog Theory Games, display his game that I'll be featured on musically with. I have a song that I've done called...
What?
Yeah.
See, I didn't hear about this now.
The song is called Superstar Girl Emma. The game is called Star Supergirl Emma. And he's still working on it right now. So shout out to Dog Theory Games, Joel Christensen. But he'll be there with a playable version of the game that you can test out. So we're trying to do it really, really big. DJ Kawan will be there, who will be my DJ, who's going to be at also Fandom Legacy Con.
Oh, yeah.
That's coming out.
You're going to be performing at this one.
Yes. So Fandom Legacy Con. It's going to happen March 6th. I'll be there at 9 p.m. And it's going to be there.
Cool. Okay, so like I said, the growth, that even just hearing all of that, the growth as an artist, tell me about what you've learned managerial-wise, though, with getting your name out there, putting your stuff out for people to see it and hear it. Where's been the growth on that? Because I've seen, like, a lot with you right now. Yeah. You're on social media all the time. You're putting your stuff out there.
Yeah.
And you're also, a father.
I am.
We all have day jobs as well. And you're still out there on this grind, man.
It's hard, man.
It is, but you're doing it.
It's hard. Thank you. Well, I mean, as a fellow man that goes out and does what he loves, even with trying to manage a family.
And yeah, kids are hard work.
Right, kids are hard work, man. They hard. So Let me tell you, the times that people don't see are the times where I'm in my apartment and I'm wondering, God, am I doing everything right? Am I honestly, how can I manage all this stuff? Because I recently got my first YouTube commission for a channel, these guys called Retro Days.
Of course.
Yeah, Retro Days, of course. And
like
they
peanut
reached
butter
out
and
to
jelly.
me. Right, peanut butter and jelly. So they reached out to me to do their theme song. So in the midst of doing Child of the 80s, studying for my A+, which I'll be taking, God, hopefully
Congrats.
next month.
You're gonna
Next
get
month
that. You're gonna get that too. But
Thank you. I had to come up with a kind of a theme song, but I think what it is that whenever you've seen people who are successful, they've had like 5 to 7 different things going on. When you look at like Sean Combs, Puffy, you know how many things that dude had to do before he sat up,
and still doing quite a bit.
still doing quite a bit. So when I think about those times, I think about my kids, and I think about the times where nobody was checking for me. I was thinking about the times that nobody cared about a TekForce, and nobody around even this area cared about a nerdy rapper. It's unfortunately something that you deal with in music is people, especially in the genre that I do, people who shortchange you and people who don't believe in what you do, and you have to show them. I was taught, and you mentioned being a manager. The reason that I am the person I am is because of Louis Gray,
Really?
the group. We had talks about 6 years ago, and I was in a place in my life, man, where I didn't know where I wanted to go, like musically. I was doing these tracks, but I didn't know who I was. I had to learn how to become a boss. So these talks kind of deconstructed me. It kind of rebuilt me into a person that knew the value of my music, knew how to go out and talk to people to let them know how dope my music was, or that I thought it was, to have the confidence to move forward. And after these 6 years of tech support coming out, the Bits and Bytes EP, Server Crash, doing all these shows, I don't have to prove so much anymore. And now I'm trying to teach other people.
Oh.
Shout out to Mish. Mish, who is my co-CEO in Lifecycle Entertainment, head of marketing, how to be a boss herself, and she's seen growth. But it honestly takes what people have been taught and then taking that out the way and letting them know, like, dude, you got everything that you need right here. All you got to do is make sure that your music is consistent, you promote properly, and you surround yourself with the right people. And God knows, right now in 2020, I'm finally at that spot that my core crew of musicians and artists are those people. And I got people like you that have rocked with me for years. You didn't ask for anything. All you asked for was me because you love the music.
Yeah.
And that means the world to me.
I have consistently said I am a fan of your music, and I'm also, I'm glad to be considered your friend as well.
Yeah, man, you are. And you know, you believe that helping people leads to greatness. And
I think the words that you spoke, though, that was really good. That you can take that with anything that anybody's doing. That's good inspirational words, man.
Thank you, man. Like I can we talk about the legacy?
Well, yeah, because I'm seeing like you're doing live performances now. You're going to cons. We got album release parties. You're doing things. So we got Fandom Legacy happening right here in Richardson, Texas.
Yes.
March 6th through the 8th, 2020.
Right.
And you got on with these guys real early, helping them out with things they're doing. Tell me about what's the relationship been like.
So with Zach and Mary, they are the co-owners of the Fandom Legacy Con. It's such a wild story how I got roped into it, which is great that I did. So I'm real good friends with the guys at Order 66 in Allen. And I walk in and the owner points to me and he says,
He looks embarrassed here.
he says, TekForce, come over here, man. I've been looking for you. I've been waiting for you to come in. And I said, I'm thinking, man, do I owe this dude some money? Because when people say stuff like that, that can go any kind of way. So I walk over and he says, hey, I've been looking for you. And he says, Zach, I need you to come up here, man. TekForce is here. So Zach happens to be his brother. He comes in, and he comes in with his wife, Mary, and they say, hey, we've heard all about your music, we love your music, and we've listened to the Prime Hour.
Oh.
And we love that, and I'm holding a convention, and I would love for you to be a part of it. I was floored, because I didn't know what to expect. I just randomly came in there with my daughter just to come in and check on the guys, as I do. But we sat down and we talked, and next thing I know, I was headlining the con. This is my first headlining appearance.
Wow.
Phantom Legacy Con, which is great. So about them, the reason that they got me interested is because this con focuses on getting back to the core values, being fun, and
we don't have enough of those shows anymore.
I mean, we look at like Fan Expo, and
I mean, they're the big ones.
Right.
And they're sitting on top of that mountain, but where it all started.
Right.
As long as we're talking about like child of the 80s and things like that.
Yeah.
These are the kind of cons, the smaller venues and artists, stuff to buy.
Man.
Yeah. And I mean, even we're saying like smaller venues, you're performing there. You know, we don't normally get a concert at some of the cons we go to. See, y'all are blessed.
Well, I mean, I think that's something we've tried to do in the area. I think I've ran into issues because a lot of cons don't want to have musical artists there. There was a time that they entertained it, but I see it more outside of Dallas. Mm-hmm. Like when I went to Grand Junction.
Yeah.
And shout out to Brian Wade of Blues Wade Cartoons. Flew out to Grand Junction, man, to the Mesa County Comic Con and got to perform at this pivotal theater called the Avalon Theater. So the Avalon in Grand Junction, to give you kind of a look at it, a perspective. Buddy Holly has performed there. Mm-hmm. Prince has performed there. Dave Chappelle's recently been there. All these big name people, when they come through, they go to the Mesa, they go to that Avalon Theater, and I got to perform there.
Wow.
Yes, I like that. That just proved my point. How pivotal it was.
Stupid windows. You got to make the same windows. It's a new PC. Sorry.
Yeah, man, but it's just it's really been. It's not been easy, man. But the growth. And where I'm at now, I feel like with this album is going to take me to places that I've never been before because it's heartfelt and it's talking about pain and it's talking about the different situations we have, but also I got tracks where I'm spitting bars and it's a well-rounded project and it's different than anything people have heard from me, which is what I want.
Expansion as an artist is always good.
Yeah, man.
So on Phantom Legacy though, back to this, what night are you performing?
So that'll be on March 6th.
March 6th you're performing?
Yes, we're kind of opening the con. It'll be at 9 p.m. So I'm gonna be I'm gonna be the show opener. There's two other bands.
It's a good open.
Well, I mean, and we were kind of deciding where I wanted to start, and I don't have no ego, man. Like, just put me where you put me. But I thought, why not just start this thing off? It's a rave that's going to happen that night. So I'm basically kicking off a rave.
All right.
With my old behind. So I'll do it. I'll be like 2 times older than most of the people that
we'll get some light sticks, you'll be all right.
Man, just give me a cane.
There you go.
Because I'm old for it.
I think you'll be fine. All right, but after that, we got the launch party at the Video Game Museum, the album release party.
Right, so excited.
So I got to ask you, what's in the future now? Like, you've gone so far out already. But what else are we going to see from you? What's this year going to be like? Besides getting your music out there, getting your name known, doing more venues, doing your shows, what are you doing to grow?
So I think, man, with me doing music and getting older, I want to start mentoring other artists that are trying to do what I do. Because I feel like I don't have the template, man. I'm not traveling countries like some of the other bigger artists and doing stuff like that, but I've stayed consistent. And I think I've learned a lot and I can teach somebody the same. So for Life Cycle Entertainment, my company, my brand, I want to not only move over into comic books, because I have a project called The Damage Brothers that I'm been putting together for the past 10 years. I also recently came up with an idea about doing a series of videos based on a girl that's from the Damage Brothers being kind of my Ramona Flowers. but she actually exists from another dimension. So I'm looking to expand that idea and do an actual series where I play the main character because people haven't seen the acting chops, and I think I can do a little.
Oh, you think so? Okay.
I think I might
All
do
right.
a little something.
I'll keep in mind for your skits, all right.
Other than that, man, Server Crash Part 2 is gonna come. It's
Yes.
happening finally. And I got several shows that will be at the House of Blues this summer.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
House of Blues.
I must have missed that announcement. That's a big venue, man.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Dude, I'm watching all of your growth as an artist. It's an inspiration to me to watch you out there working. Okay,
Thank you, man.
It keeps. I'm seeing other people on that grind, just like, and it makes me want to go.
Well, our key is to help each other.
Exactly.
I have to help you. You got to help me, and I think that's one thing that's missing a lot, especially unfortunately in this area, is that people miss helping out the person that's helping you out or helping out somebody that's trying to make it. We need to be separate together. You got your own brand, your own business. However, we can work in that same line. As a matter of fact, we should do something together that lines our businesses.
I'm always open, as your friend. I'm always open to you doing something. In fact, he joined us for one of our episodes of Nerds with Coffee, which was great. You need to watch that. We just kind of roped him into this. It was great. I don't care what you say. It was funny. It was fun. And so,
yeah, I'm not even going to show you the pictures.
No, we'll get to that. But it's he is featured on one of those episodes, so thank you. Come by having some fun with us.
Yeah,
but
man.
that's how I feel with doing this interview. You're my friend. Come by and I get to talk to you about what's going on.
Yeah, bro.
It's always good to see you. Now,
Absolutely.
As far as music-wise, where can people on Bandcamp find your stuff?
Yes. So you can find. Do you mind if I turn?
Plug
Right
everything
okay,
where they can find you.
So. Right here. So you can find me, Shockwave.
Soundwave.
I'm sorry.
Soundwave. I had to correct him. I didn't want to do it.
I know. You got to. Soundwave Blaster. You can find me at. You can find them at TekForce. You can find them at TekForce1.bandcamp.com. You can also find them on Twitter. You can find them on Facebook. You can find them on Instagram as TekForce. Twitter is TekForce Rises. So make sure you check for me there. I'm also on TikTok. I just opened an account because I'm old and I want to stay relevant.
Unfair advantage.
Yeah. Anyway, find me there. Child of the 80s, April 18th. It'll be there, available on all streaming sites as well. The next single coming out is probably going to be Never Again. So we'll see.
Links to everything he just said will be in the description below. Make sure you go and click those and check them out. And buy some music from this man. It's great. Also, I got to tell you one thing where I actually geeked out on something. You weren't even around for it. But I have Google Play.
Okay.
And I was doing one of the random playlists.
Yeah.
And you popped up.
The random playlist.
You popped up on the random playlist.
What?
And I almost wrecked my truck.
Yo, but don't do that.
And
man.
I was like,
this.
What?
Yeah.
And as a friend and a fan, I felt so proud for you right there. Just to pop on the nerdy nerdcore music.
Yeah.
For you to pop up in that playlist, I was like, well, that's it. He's done. He's made it. He's made it.
Hey, man, I'm trying, dude, and I may not have like 1 million followers and all that business, but
he needs
the people that I do have, I rock with and I love, and I'm so very thankful for them. And things this year are changing, man. They're already. God, I got my first YouTube commission. I got all these shows, and the next thing is putting the music in movies and TV.
There you go.
So we can keep elevating.
So guys, please check out TekForce. Man's amazing. He's very talented. And I'm glad you were able to come by and talk with us,
Hey, man, thank you so much, Jay. I appreciate it.
Take it easy out there. Y'all check out TekForce. We'll catch you later.